It's my boyfriend's 24 meters birthday and I'm 21F contemplating breaking up with him. Basically, like the title says, my boyfriend T and I have been together for almost 8 months. Today's his birthday. He planned a bar crawl with his friends and a dinner at Bar and Grill beforehand. When I got to his house after work at around 3 p.m. he was very drunk and had already had half a bottle of whiskey, but was being nice and lovey-dovey. Things then got worse and worse. Before dinner we went to a bar with his housemates where a lot of our friends work. He was openly groping me in front of everyone. Picking me up. Just being embarrassing. I asked him to stop and he did. But got annoyed at me and ignored me for a while. At this bar we were given lots of free drinks from our friends. So he was extremely drunk and it wasn't even dinner time yet. We then went to the bar grill. He was rude to staff because they threatened to cut him off, and being very loud and obnoxious. He was being super embarrassing, so I suggested we get some fresh air. The restaurant is at the top of a pretty big flight of stairs. As I tried to walk him down it, he basically pretended to fall so I would grab him and then he tried to push me down. Everyone saw this and I was mortified and also hurt. It's also important to note I have had 2 jaw reconstruction surgeries almost 2 months ago, so I'm still recovering from that. I'm not even allowed to go to the gym yet. So I can't imagine what would have happened if I'd fallen down. I left at that point as I was crying and embarrassed. His best friend came after me and apologized, etc. and just comforted me in a really nice way. We talked for a while about T and then T sent us a photo of him at another bar. I wanted to go home at his point, but his best friend convinced me to go to the bar. Was about a 3 minutes walk. And say goodbye to everyone there. As we walked up, T was waiting out the front and saw us. He started yelling at me things like, "WTF are you guys doing, you want to fuck him?" He then started shoving me and his best friend stepped in to stop him. I then got an Uber for myself as I was shocked and scared. As I was leaving he continued to say hurtful things. I'm so confused where this has come from. He is always the perfect gentleman to me. Very kind and considerate. But tonight I saw a side of him I genuinely have never seen or knew existed, and I have no idea how to handle it. I'm lost about what to do. And I feel like my trust is partially broken. When he's drunk he tried to push you down the stairs. Shoved you. Accused you of cheating. Got annoyed when you told him to stop touching you. Leave him. Tell him it's because of how he acts when intoxicated and leave. If he wants to change and stop drinking, good for him, but don't continue to see him until he's completely better. Put yourself and your well-being above his feelings. 8 months in. His first birthday celebration with you and this is how he behaves. Please don't be there for the next one. You should absolutely leave. This was a preview of what's to come. Heed this warning. He shoved you. You were walking with his friend and he shoved you. GTFO. Break up with him. If he has keys to your home, change the locks. You had major surgery and it is a red flag so big it can be seen from space that he thought trying to injure you would be funny. Also the groping and public humiliation of you. Alcohol lowers inhibitions, it doesn't change who we are. He's telling you who he is and it's not a good person. In alcohol, there is truth. You just saw what every birthday, every wedding, every major life event that involves alcohol will be like. Him having fun is more important than you. He doesn't care about your feelings. Doesn't care if you get hurt. Doesn't care how you get home as long as he gets what he wants. He will accuse you of lying, of cheating, of stealing, at looking at other men, etc. And of course, he's absolutely perfect. Leave him before he hurts you. He will apologize profusely, maybe even deny most of what happened or say he can't remember. Don't fall for it because it will happen again. Woo, yikes. I'd say no more alcohol, at all, or break up. You've only been dating him 8 months and you are just 21. You have too much life ahead of you to tie yourself to this kind of drama. Just break up with him. You don't need a project. I would trust your gut and go through with the breakup. If you want to do it in person. PLS. Consider doing it in a public location. Or just do so through phone. The reason I bring that up is because he showed he can get physical with you. He might have been drunk when he did that. But alcohol mainly loosens self-control, which he can still lose if he gets really angry or upset with you. I can understand the loss of trust. People we choose to be in relationships with are supposed to make us feel comfortable and safe. He made you feel the opposite this whole day. Don't let him get away with the excuse of being drunk. As others have said, alcohol brings out the parts people try to hide. This is a part of him that you shouldn't ignore. Leave ASAP. It will only get much worse. He assaulted you multiple times, groping, shoving, verbal assault. You need to break up. Alcohol tends to bring out their real personality, the one they tend to keep hidden just under the surface, so just leave. Ask yourself, do you really need that shit in your life? No. You're only 21, for God's sake. Have some self-respect. And find someone else. Someone who'll respect you back because you deserve much better. You've been together for 8 months. And he just tried to throw you down a flight of stairs. You absolutely should get away from him as soon as possible. Most abusers act nice for the first year or so of a relationship. But once the violence starts, it only escalates. Please leave before you end up as a statistic. He's acting like a child. And it will likely get worse. It also sounds like he's been hiding this side from you. And the facade finally broke. Leave now and find someone more on your level. You can't control his drinking. So in the future, at any time, for any reason, he gets drunk again, this is the behavior you will get. If you stay with him, you know what to expect. I mean, why would you stay after that despicable behavior and only 8 months in? Alcohol doesn't make people do things. It removes the inhibitions that keep people from doing things they would have done all along. That's who your boyfriend is. You saw his true colors. Is that a person you want to stay with? He harassed you in public, tried to push you down the stairs, accused you of cheating, and shoved you. Girl, you know you deserve better, and it doesn't matter if this is a one-time thing or something that only occurs when drunk, could be the start of many. How long have you been together? Alcohol tends to bring out and amplify what people are like inside. Notice the amplify. Small flaws become bigger. Insecurities get overblown. Lovey behavior can cross the line. And feeling hurt and cause a massive mood swing, etc. He may have some internal stuff he hasn't worked out. Or maybe you haven't been with him long enough to see what he's like inside. I'd recommend you sit him down and have a conversation, asking him what was he doing, thinking. Be sure to mention how he made you feel in each scenario. It's one thing to deny something that happened. It's impossible to deny how a different person feels. In this discussion, you need to have a good time and place. Don't bring outsiders into it unless you really have to. It should be a last resort. Mention issues one at a time and look for a solution before moving on to the next one. Don't overwhelm them with a flood of issues, then ask for changes. Avoid being accusatory. Don't use words like, "You did this," or "I can't believe you did X." Quote. Make the topic of sentence about how you felt instead of the action, "When you did X, I felt very hurt and embarrassed." This helps shift from accusatory to "I was hurt. I feel bad for you. I also kind of feel bad for him considering you said he's always a gentleman." Some of us have issues or thoughts we keep to ourselves. And being put in a compromising situation where that leaks out and hurts loved ones can be terrifying. I used to be genuinely worried about going to the dentist and spilling my guts about Marshall. Complications. I had my dad take me and told everyone else to go ahead and go to work. I love my wife. But she used to have a lot of problems. She comes from a very broken family. I didn't dare tell people about my sexual frustration or how she or her crazy family would emotionally hurt me. That was about a decade ago and it could get severe. Her mom ended up in a psych ward. I wish you the best in your endeavors. I hope you and your BF can work it out, or maybe you find out what he's really like if you haven't been together long.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.